Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to get it popping on. This is honestly going to be your biggest money making tool that you use. It's very simple. Everything that I teach you is essentially going to be with your eyes. The only exception is really going to be Fibonacci. It's popular. I like to use things that are popular that really are in flow with money. But this is going to be the number one thing that you guys are going to want to use, is going to be support and resistance. So I'm basically going to talk about how it forms and what it means, because you have to understand what this really means and how it really forms in order for you to understand what you're looking at in the market, because it's all about identification and understanding. So you utilize this knowledge that you're going to learn in the market, and what you're going to do is you're going to identify the market, and you're going to then execute trades based on the knowledge that you have and the things that you learn. So one of the biggest things that happen literally all the time in the market is support and resistance. So this is like when I tell you the bread and butter of trading. This is going to be the thing. For me as a trader, I don't really look at. I don't really use a lot of different things, but I understand a lot of different things, and I want to, of course, teach you everything that I know. I'm literally giving everything that I know in a format where you have the ability to just honestly come on here and watch it anytime. I mean, that's essentially why you pay for the videos, is so that you can have this information at any time that you want to really watch it. So the information, the stuff that I'm going to be teaching you today, and this is going to be your basis of all the different types of support and resistance that are in the market. So I'm going to talk about how it forms and what it actually means, okay? So when we look at this, right, and we see this, I'm going to delete this. You can see that this is essentially the market, and this right here is what we call a naked chart. This right here means that there's absolutely nothing on the chart at all. Now, right now, this is essentially going to look like, just a bunch of red and green candles going up and down, right? But what's going to happen is I'm going to actually pinpoint what you're actually going to be needing to look for in the market in order to start validating that there are buyers or sellers in the market. Because what support and resistance is, it's actually essentially what a lot of people like to call supply and demand. Basically just a supply of buyers, a demand of sellers. Like there's just, it just means money. All it means is money. I really don't care what you call the way that I'm going to show you how this actually looks. I don't really care how you call this. I just need you to understand what it means, okay? So when we look at this, I'm going to show you what this looks like in like a draw out form, okay? So what support, how it forms, how support and resistance forms. I'm going to do a left to right, so it's going to be a horizontal support and resistance. So basically what happens is there's either a sell-off or a major buying opportunity that happens in the market. In this instance, I'm going to do a sell-off. So basically what the market does is it shoots way down like this, okay? And that's the market, and it shoots all the way down. And then what happens is there's a point in the market where it stops, basically going excitably down in one direction, straight down. And then what happens is there's what we call a pullback or a retracement in there. That's essentially where a lot of these traders that were in here are now taking profits. So what it does is it gives the market time to retrace and come back like this. And what happens is it does this, like this, and the market then pulls back like this, just like that. What happens here is not only do people take profits here, but buyers get engaged right here, guys. This is what happens. There's a strong amount of buying that goes on there. And it comes all the way down here and it starts to shoot up. And then the market then goes and it starts to push up again. And then it goes back to a familiar area. And then what it does is all of these people who bought down here and all these people right here, what they do is they exit. And normally what happens is the market exits at a familiar territory. So usually where the sell-off was at that happened. And what happens is the market then goes over and then it starts to shoot down again like this, okay? And the market shoots down and comes down and then it goes back to a familiar territory again like this, which is here at this level. And then what happens is as the market has done this big sell-off, it reaches this zone right here, and what do you think starts to happen again? The people who seen that there was a major buying opportunity over here, what they see and notice is they're like, oh, the market went up over here, then what's the chances that it could go up right here? And so what happens is it's on the flip side too. The sellers are like, oh, last time the market got right here, it went back up. So the smartest thing for me to do would be to close out my sell positions and look to take profit on my trades. So what happens is when the sellers alleviate their sells right here, then what happens is it takes less pressure off of the market of the buyers. So what it gives more strength to is buyers because there's less sellers in the market. That's usually what happens. So when the market gets to this level, then it usually will be like, oh, well, I'm strong enough now to do what? Start going up. And so the market starts to go up like this, and it reaches a zone in which it's familiar with. And what do you think the buyers do? They take out their positions because last time they reached this level, what happened? It came down. And so this happens repeatedly in the market, guys, until it does not anymore, okay? So it literally happens repeatedly over and over again until it does not. And so people always love to say, well, how do you know when it's going to do it? I don't know. I literally have no idea. Because if I did, I'd have the greatest trading strategy in the whole world. I wouldn't even need to, like, have a psychology section. I wouldn't need to be mentally and emotionally on a different level with my trading. I wouldn't have to, because all I would need to do is just know a trading strategy that once it reaches a zone, I buy. Once it reaches a level, I sell. And you want to know what the funny thing is? I do have a strategy that does that. But here's the thing. I don't know if the market is going to continue to go up, continue to go down, or if it's going to reverse at this specific level every time. That's why there are other things inside of trading, such as trade management, such as risk management, such as drawdown management, that you have to understand, which is later in the academy that you're going to get to. But those are things that you have to understand in this whole process. So looking at this and seeing this on in what I just drew out to you, this is exactly how the market moves. Okay, it does this on a small scale to a large scale. I want you to understand that what I'm showing you does not matter if it is on the monthly chart or the minute chart. It doesn't matter. What I will tell you though is that the bigger time frames like the monthly, weekly, and daily hold more weight than the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15-minute chart. Meaning that these support and resistances, these crests and these valleys, these peaks and these valleys, these highs and these lows that happen, they happen on any time frame. And I'm going to say this again, and I've said it many times, but the market does not know time. We as humans with the human mind, that's how we do everything, is through time. So I want you to understand that the market doesn't know time. Okay, so all it knows is money. So these things that I just drew to you right here, this is what the market knows. It's money. This right here, it looks like a heartbeat monitor in a sense. That right there is going to be your key to financial freedom. This right here, the way this thing looks right here. Because what's going to happen when you hear people say that term, buy low, sell high, this is what this means. You buy low, at the lows, you sell high. But it's not like at all-time high, forever highs. It's not at all-time lows. It's where the market actually strategically sets up and tells you where the money is. It's such a cool thing. I don't think you get when I say it is literally a language. When you begin to know the language and understand it, you start to be able to attract whatever kind of money you want. Now, I don't want you to get too far ahead of yourself because I know you guys just want to jump in and be like, I know I need to trade, 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 trade. No, this is just about identification of the market. This is all this is. This is all about just making sure that you guys are doing this in the proper way. All I want you to do is focus on what I just showed you right here, this look right here. I just want you to go through and in the market, just go find this. Just go look at this. So watch as I show you how this actually works, okay? So when I say this, I'm going to just go to like the actual chart now. And when you look at it now, you can kind of see that, hold on, I can start seeing these peaks and these valleys and these crests in the market, and you probably can. But what I showed you was a horizontal one. They happen all the time diagonally in the market. Now, what I want you to understand, and I said this also, is the phrase that you can tattoo on your forehead and just take around with you all the time. The easier it looks on your eyes, the easier it's going to be to trade. So that means that if it looks how I just showed you, how I just drew that example up there, it can be that easy, guys. It can be that simple. Okay. So again, what you're going to be doing in trading is you're just going to be looking at this market. Oh yeah, I forgot I still had this thing. You're just going to be looking at this market, and what you're going to be doing is you're just going to go and look for like, okay, where does the support and the resistance happen at? Okay. That's all you're going to be looking for. And again, this is a daily chart. I'm just looking at a daily time frame. But let's use this for instance. This is a really good one. This is probably the best one I've seen looking on the eyes so far. And so the way I do it, and I'm going to teach you different forms of how to draw the lines and how to do it and just how to see it, because it's all just about identification and seeing it. But do you see how this is a really good horizontal zone here? This right here is basically your support and resistance. See this right here? And what we're going to do when we find support and resistance, we are going to draw either a line like that, or we are going to draw a line like this that runs all the way through. I usually draw the box because you don't have to be perfect with the support and resistance. Like, you don't, it's not about being perfect. It's just essentially about being in alignment with the market. So it's not about like I need to be perfect on the market. No, it's not about that. It's literally simply just about okay, I need to make sure that I draw the lines in the proper areas. I need to make sure that where I'm drawing my support, where I'm drawing my resistance, where I'm drawing my lines, it's in a place where there is a large amount of buying and selling going on. So you can draw it like that. Sometimes it'll be easy enough to draw it like that, but this is usually how I do it. And if you look at this thing, this is where the market comes and touches there. See how it goes up? See how the market touches there? See how it goes up? See how the market touches there and it goes up? It doesn't quite hit here, but if it did, see how it went up? See how the market touches there and goes up? And then this right here, it just breaks. That's breaking. So we're not on that yet. I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna actually teach that. But this is what this looks like whenever in real time. See, this is actually real time. Like if the market is here at the moment, see how like when you see that your mind, and what I'm trying to get you, I'm trying to train you to do is when you look at this, you're like, oh, it goes up here, it goes up here, it goes up here, it goes up here. Oh, okay, yeah. What's the most likely thing it's going to do? It's going to go up. And I don't want you to think that you're wrong if it goes down. That's not how the market works. So you have to start getting that belief out of your head, because it's not going to serve you anymore in trading. That belief will not serve you in trading. It may serve you at a job or a school or something like that, but in trading, that's not going to serve you. 100%, that's not going to serve you. So you're going to have to let that go, because it just will not literally serve you by any means at all. I'm going to be dropping a lot of little psychological. Um, I don't want to. Yeah, I'm going to be dropping a lot of different like psychological. I guess I'm trying to think. I don't want to use affirmations as one, but basically, and I don't want to say digs, but I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of different terminology in here that's going to be different than what you're probably used to in your day-to-day life, but it's going to be extremely beneficial that you start thinking this way in trading if you want to make it in as this in your profession, as this is a profession. You're going to have to really like understand the terminology, the things I'm giving you. It's going to help you greatly. Okay. Um, and if you look at this right here, I want you to see that this is also a zone in which, see how the market comes down right there? See that? That's a zone in which the market comes down. That's a real zone. There's another zone right here. This is a zone in which the market comes down. See that right there? That's a zone in which the market comes down. And if the market were to come back up here, this would be a sell. If the market were to come back up here, this would be a sell. And again, I don't want you to go beyond what I'm telling you right now, like what I'm actually showing you right now. I don't want you to go beyond that. I want you to stay focused on the things that I'm telling you right now, because it's extremely important that you do this. All I'm doing is I'm showing you how to do this, guys. So if you look at this right here, see how you see that this place right here, see how the market shoots up right there? And then it comes back down, and see how the market shoots up right there? This here is a support. You can see that. So it forms based upon, again, a demand of traders in that area. It's not like it just determines in the market. I can't give you, I don't know like the exact place that it's going to do it until it does it. Does that make sense? So I know that if the market were to go like this right here, watch this, here, then it decided to come here, and then it decided to come here. Well, guess what I know? Oh, well, the most likely spot that it comes up at is in this box right here every time, right? So my guess is that, and remember, every single time that you get into the market, it's an educated guess. You don't 100% know if the market is going to reverse there or not. The key in trading, what you're getting really good at, is you're looking and understanding market reversal, when to buy, when to sell. That's what you're doing. So when the market reaches those areas, when it reaches those levels, you want it to form a support or a resistance. You want that. And when it does that, it gives you the highest likely chance in order for you to make money if it gets to those levels. Okay, that's what you want to have happen. You want those things to happen whenever you're trading. If you look at this here, see how the market, when it reaches here, it comes down. See how the market, when it reaches here, it comes down. This right here, diagonal. That's diagonal. So it's not perfect to the side, but you can see diagonally. See how the market, whenever it comes up to here like this, it does this. And see how it comes up here and does this. So what I know is if the market gets here and it comes up like this, what do I know? Oh, that's a likely place in which sellers get involved. So all I'm doing is I'm looking at, oh, that's a resistance. And all it's doing is the market is basically hitting a ceiling. It's like you throwing a ball, and it just stops every time it gets there. And when it gets there, it goes down. And the same thing, it creates a support. When it gets there, it goes up. So what happens is when I'm looking at the market, look at this. This is what I see. See this right here? See that? So when I'm looking at the market again, guys, and this is a trade I actually took this week. Again, what does the market do when it reaches there? It hits here and does what? Goes up. It hits there and does what? Goes up. It hits there and does what? What does it do? It goes up. It hits here. It does what? Oh, it's looking like it's going up. And this was a trade I actually took it like, I think 1.1761 or something. And then what does it do? That is the most likely thing that it could do. That's what the market tells me every single time it reaches that line. That's what it tells me. This is a real-time moment in the market right now. This is a real-time moment. What the market is doing is a real-time moment. This is where the current buyers are at in this market. You see this? This is where they are right here, guys. This is where they are. This is where the current sellers are in this market. So if you look at this, do you see how easy that looks on the eyes? It doesn't matter, guys, how long it stays down at the buying zones or the selling zones. It just matters that you understand what it means. I do not care if I call this a valley right here, or I call this a low. You could call these damn things right here when the market reaches a low or a high. You could call the low, every time it reaches the low, it does a carpet. And you say that to someone and be like, huh, what the hell does a carpet mean? Every time the market reaches a high, it actually reaches a blueberry. You'd be like, what? But I mean, it's something different to them. It's you're talking to someone who they're like, what are you talking about? That's not even what that means, because all these words all have a definition behind them. But essentially, us as a human race came up with a language on our own for it to mean something to us. And then what we did is we went and taught that language to people, and they became disciples, and they then learned that language and how to speak it through someone who originated the entire language from themselves, and they understand what it means. So do you understand that you don't know how to speak Egyptian? Do you understand that you don't know how to speak Mandarin, or maybe Spanish or something different? You don't understand. So when someone says something to you, you don't understand it. But that person does, because they started to teach themselves how to use the language and how to actually speak it. So what I'm doing is I'm teaching you how to speak Forex. I'm teaching you how to actually speak reversal, market reversal. And I'm not even going to say Forex, because it's more like I'm teaching you how to speak price action. Because what I'm telling you, you can use it on any commodity. You can use it on any indice. You can use it on any stock. You can use it on any cryptocurrency. So it doesn't matter. What I'm showing you right now is for anybody. It really doesn't matter. So again, everything I just showed you, everything I just talked about, all you have to do, guys, is go and find that. You go and look at it. You go and see it. And I'm going to do something really cool at the end of this video that's going to help you guys see what's really happening in the market, because there's so many different ways to identify support and resistance. But the way I just showed you this here, all you have to do, it's based upon a peak and a valley system. And again, you can call it whatever you want. I really don't care what you call it, as long as you understand that it's a high and a low, and that you buy and sell on the highs and the lows. That's really all that I care about when you're doing it. So this was a diagonal one. The other one was a horizontal one. I mean, I'm sure you guys can see right here if you do this. Look at this. See it right there? You can see it there. You can see the same thing off of a high. You see that right there? And that's just doing it off of, using lines. They're everywhere, guys. I cannot even begin to explain to you. If I drew this line all the way through, look at this. See that? Buys, 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 buys. What was once a support is now what? Resistance. See how it hits it right there and comes down? See how it hits it right there and comes down? See how it hits it right there and comes down? That's a perfect example of support and resistance. What if I didn't draw that line all the way through? What if I just did this? This would work too, guys. That would work. It's the same thing. It's no different. It's the same thing. All you need, again, is you just need true. Like if I zoom in on this, see how you can see that the market comes down here, it taps it, goes up. Comes down here, taps it, goes up. Come down here, taps it, goes up. See how the market taps it and goes down. Taps it and goes down. Taps it and goes. See how that works? So that's all you essentially need, guys, when you're looking at the market, is you just need to see that it creates a clear peak or a clear valley. That's it. That's all you need. They happen everywhere, guys. That was a bigger one off of that scale that you've seen. But this is one right here, right off of this side, right here. That's one. Right there. These are some right here. See how it tap, comes down, tap, comes down. See that right there? This is one right here. See? And see how everything that I drew, all the lines I drew, do you see how the market didn't, like these little wicks right here, the little points that the market, see how it didn't go very far through? It was like very close. That's what you want, because when you're looking at the market, you want to have the market basically getting close to a zone and then rejecting it, either buying, rejecting it and going up, or selling, rejecting it and going down. That's essentially what you want every time. So again, this is support and resistance, how they form and what they mean. Okay, so I'm going to go into some other forms of support and resistance in these videos, and break those down for you guys on the next one. So again, all you have to do is go exactly what I just showed you and just go find it. Don't worry about trying to get a stop loss in, trying to trade, or any of that. Just worry about going and finding what they look like, what it means, how to identify them. Like, they're literally absolutely everywhere in the market, guys. I can't even explain to you. They're like everywhere. Once you start to see them, it's like you're gonna be like, wow, this is like really simple. Like, I literally didn't know that there are so many different lines I can place on the chart. And it's like it happens all the time, and you're gonna start seeing all these different places of support and resistance, and the lines and the things that begin to happen in the market. It's crazy. They're everywhere. Next thing that I'm going to show you guys, I think, is trend identification, because it goes very much in line with support and resistance, and the 3-touch rule that I'm going to teach you guys of how it means. I'm probably going to put those videos together because I think that'll be a really good combination on how to do the 3-touch rule. No, I'm probably not going to do that because I have a different way I teach that. So yeah. But yeah, hopefully this video was helpful to identifying support and resistance and what it actually means, how it forms, how like the buyers get engaged, the sellers get engaged, what it means whenever the buyers start to lose momentum, meaning when they reach a high and there's sellers that come in. Same thing with sellers when they lose momentum, what it means to take profit on both trades. When it gets to those highs, when it gets to those lows, like this is whenever sellers lose momentum, or sorry, buyers lose momentum because they're getting to a high that has been a high that sellers like and that they want to sell at. So what happens is the buyers take their trades out at this level because there's something about this level that the buyers don't like and the sellers love. And there's something about this zone that the sellers don't like but the buyers love. So it goes hand in hand in all these things. So hopefully this was a really good section for you, and it's only going to get better with the other areas of support and resistance that we're going to cover, and what it actually means. So we are going to move on to the next video, guys. So let's get it.